Oh, hey guys, I'm Drew Harrison. Thank you for joining me on this surprisingly chilly morning. Got a nice cold front coming in through the deep north and coming right across the southeast, and now temperatures are in the 30s when it was in the 70s yesterday. You think you get used to the spring in the south, and then every year it catches you off guard with these fake summers and third and fourth winters. At least in the north, they can blame it on a groundhog. Down here, we just get mad at our weatherman. Oh well. Tomato, tomato. We got a fun show for you. We got top 5 early 2000s MLB logos to kick off the baseball season. Hope y'all are watching that World Baseball Classic. It is fire. We also got This Week in Comedy presented by Comedian Discovery. So we got some fun comedy specials for you to check out, so you don't want to miss that. And then, of course, we got your comedy and sports and comedy. Mix in a little pop culture in there for you. Just for you. Just for you. It's snowing here in Nashville, so that's fun. It's not fun. I don't like it. We get stuck in our house if it snows, so hopefully this don't stick around. If you were a fan of the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile for years, we got news for you. We got a new mobile out there. It's the LL Bean Bootmobile, coming soon to a town near you. The brand's iconic Bean Boot, now mobile, will roll into Huntsville on March 28th. It is there for the grand opening of Alabama's first LL Bean in April. They said it couldn't be done. They said they couldn't take khakis and polos down to the people of Alabama, but they're doing it. They're doing it. Red Bull, the company known for waking you up and keeping you awake, is working on a 12-hour sleep drink. The company that keeps you awake, working on the sleep potion. 2026. Huh? Am I right? I don't know how they're going to do it. Like, it's like that's scary. You think Red Bull and sleep, you think, what are you drugging me with? You know, what are the bros putting in my Red Bull to make me sleep? That's the question. Interested to see how this pull it off. I hope they're not just putting a melatonin tablet in some seltzer water and calling it a sleep pill. Clutch your pearls like I did this weekend. We have another fish scandal in Major League Fishing. Promised myself I wouldn't care again after the weight debacle of 2022. But here I am, caring about professional fishing again. And they did it again. But this time the event organizers are smart. They had a metal detector out there, checking the fish, make sure there wasn't extra metal or weights or whatever put in the fish. So good on them. They're like, you ain't fooling us a second time. The guy had already won $2,500. He was shooting for $10,000, the big prize, but they caught him beforehand, took his money back. Good on you, fishing delegation committee oversight. Good on you. Will Ferrell has a golf comedy coming out this summer. He's starring in the Netflix show The Hawk. Like Ricky Bobby on the greens? Sign me up. Netflix released a teaser, and it's pretty good. It's Will Ferrell being Will Ferrell in the golf get up. So go check it out. The Hawk on Netflix. Bert Kreischer's tour bus goes down in flames. Up in flames? Up in flames, then down in flames. Why not both? Unknown cause, or if he knows, he isn't telling us about it. He just posted the pictures on social media. But he was in Cedar Rapids, Iowa last night, so sounds like they got it fixed up. I just feel bad for all of my comedy buddies that have great stories to tell from time spent on Bert Kreischer's bus. So that sucks when it's like a comedy club going down. You're like, I had a lot of great memories in that place. But man, they got some great fodder for Van Wilder 7. Tour bus was lit. Is a subreddit fixing male loneliness? There's a subreddit called Male Living Spaces where men are sharing their living spaces with other men to get critiqued and judged and high-fived and all that good stuff. So we're bonding through the internet about where we live. A Notorious B.I.G.-inspired steakhouse coming to New York City. Biggie's daughter, Tiana, is opening a Caribbean-inspired steakhouse in honor of her father. You had me at steakhouse and Caribbean, and all of that sounds great. So you love to see it. You know, it's awesome that she's taking her father's legacy, building upon it, and opening up a place in the community where everyone can go and remember Biggie and all of the cool things he did. And it's nice to see Diddy not attached to it. But like I said, we got a great show for you. Up next is This Week in Comedy, presented by Comedian Discovery. Go check him out on Instagram. You just might find your new favorite comedian. We got some to catch up on and some coming out in the near future. On March 3rd, Shane Moss dropped First Dose. It's combined the two things that Shane loves so much, psychedelics and comedy. It's at a beautiful venue in Denver. He really got the little details right. And he's got 20 psychedelic artists having visuals put up behind him as he's doing his stand-up, and it is truly a sight to see, whether you're on mushrooms or not. On the 10th, your boy Derek Stroop dropped his debut special on Netflix called Nostalgic. I got to see this coming together, opening for Derek a few times in the past year, and man, it was great to see. He delivered. He is a showman. He gets going. It is hilarious to see. He has got to be the most relatable comic out there right now. If you weren't laughing, you were going, yeah, I agree with that. He sums up Southerners' love affair with food to a T. And I agree with you, Derek. If you don't wave when I let you in traffic, I legally should be allowed to follow you home. We've all seen a cigarette save Thanksgiving, so that's just such great content. You're going to check it out, Nostalgic, on Netflix. March 16th sees Paul Miller drop his special on YouTube. Not a lot of clips out there about it. One clip I did see said, let's black out and holler at each other on that LinkedIn. So very funny, the clips I have seen. James Webb, the guy who's produced anything and everything in comedy, gave his stamp of approval on the special, so that alone is worth checking it out. So check out Paul Miller on YouTube. On the 30th, rounding out the month, we get Nevin Sharma. He's born in West Virginia, but he's cut his teeth in North Carolina, so you know I love that. Dehaj Hedrick put his special out last month. We talked about that, so definitely gonna check it out. North Carolina kid. You love to see it. And that's the specials Comedian Discovery said keep an eye on, and we'll check back in with him soon. But in the meantime, go give him a follow on Instagram at Comedian Discovery. If you're around Nashville, he puts on great shows at Comedian Discovery Live, and you're going to check out his collaborations with new and upcoming comedians on the YouTubes. Let's talk sports. New Mexico State plated 39 runs in a college baseball game. 39. They won 39-4. They beat Southwest College. Like, it looked like one of those matchups in the old school NCAA where you're like, they don't even give them a logo or colors or anything. It's just they Southwest. 55 at bats, 37 RBIs, 4 triples throughout the game. And here's the kicker. They only tied a school record. They've scored 39 runs in a baseball game before. Congrats on doing it again. The Sharks' Macklin Celebrini, 19 years old, by the way, knocks out a 90-point season as a teenager. He's the third fastest to do it, like get a 90-point season as a teenager. The other two, Sidney Crosby and Wayne Gretzky. So let's keep an eye on this kid. He might be going down as one of the greats, or he might already be one of the best players in the league at 19. Insane. The Maple Leafs are going to be without Austin Matthews the rest of the season. Took a hard hit from Ducks' Radko Gudas. The team wants more. He got 5 games for throwing his leg out and tearing Austin Matthews' MCL. Deep contusion on the quad. That probably hurts a lot too. A deep bruise on your thigh piece right there. But the teammates wanted more than 5 games. Like, he ended their captain's season and he got 5 games. So I don't know if they play each other the rest of the season, but keep an eye on that next Maple Leafs Ducks game. Should be some retaliation there on behalf of the Maple Leafs. U.S. hockey completes the trifecta. The Paralympic team, the sled hockey team beat Canada. That sounds familiar, right? Beats Canada in the championship game. I'm sorry, the gold medal game. They are gold medalists once again, and you love to see it, man. It's insane to me. I didn't think in my lifetime I would see U.S. hockey beat them in men's, women's, and Paralympics. So you love to see it. Which, shout out to the women's and the Paralympic team. They've been holding it down for us. They've been beating Canada in gold medal games. It's nice to see the men's team join the party. Unfortunately, Miami of Ohio's unbeaten season came to a screeching halt in their conference quarterfinals. They lost to UMass, but have no fear. They were the last team to make it into the tournament. So they're in. They're in March Madness barely. They got to play in game. They got to play SMU to see if they can then play in the field of 64. But hey, you made it. That's the important thing. This is historic too. This is the first time a small conference has had 2 teams make it, one other than the conference tournament champion. So it's insane. It's insane that it took an unbeaten season, losing in the quarterfinals, to finally get another small team in with its conference champion. But hey, it's called progress. We'll have more March Madness coverage for you next week once they get the first weekend out of the way. Now it's just madness right now. I guess I have to say congrats on Duke being the overall number 1 seed. If you've been watching the World Baseball Classic, it has been absolutely fantastic. I hope you've been tuning in. If you're a baseball fan, all of the greats representing their country. And then you got Austin Wells that's on the Dominican Republic team. But hey, upset of the tournament, Venezuela knocking defending champion Japan out in the quarterfinals. Shohei Ohtani still got a home run, but hey, Ronald Acuna made sure that one didn't count because he blasted one himself. It's just been fun to watch. America, USA, Team USA, needing help from Italy to get into the knockout round, but hey, they are marching their way to the finals on the back of a pitching duel against the Dominican Republic. Both teams been knocking runs out of the park all tournament, went 2-1 in favor of USA. It was insane to see that pitching staff stifle an amazing offensive attack the Dominican Republic was known for. NBA is going to start the process to vote on the potential of maybe thinking about having an expansion team. Apparently, there's a whole thing they got to go through, but they're starting the process of hopefully by the 28-29 season having a team in Las Vegas and a team in Seattle. I'm hyped Seattle gets a basketball team again. I've been to Seattle during the Mariners playoff run, and people were hyped. They couldn't wait to go to the Mariners game. So I know the people of Seattle are passionate about their sports teams. I really hope they get the Supersonics back. I hope that it happens for them, and I hope they call it the Supersonics. And then you got the rumblings on the internet that LeBron James's agent, Rich Paul's, positioning himself to sell his high-profile agency, and with the backing of him and LeBron James being the ownership group for that team in Las Vegas. So that's another thing to keep an eye on. I'm excited to see how that plays out. To the NFL offseason news, Max Crosby failed his physical, sent back to Vegas. Raven said, that's fine, we're going to sign Trey Hendrickson. How about that? So it's fun to see how this all plays out. Max Crosby said he is committed to being a Raider. I wonder if he held his breath wrong during a blood pressure exam or something, because my man wants to be in Vegas. All right, especially with the additions they've done this offseason. Max Crosby wants to play for Vegas. But the Baltimore said that they were going to sign Hendrickson regardless. So I hate that we're all deprived of Hendrickson and Crosby on both sides of that Baltimore defense. That would have been so fun to watch, because I don't care about AFC teams. It would have been so fun to watch. Running back Pacheco from the Kansas City Chiefs is signed to be the Detroit Lions running back next year. A nice little tandem with him and Jamar Gibbs. That's going to be fun to watch. Romeo Doubs taking his services to New England. He is a Patriot. And the living legend, finally out of my division, Mike Evans, leaving the Bucs, signing a 3-year deal with the San Francisco 49ers. So Brock Purdy got him a pretty good target out there in San Fran. Dolphins signed Malik Willis. They get the Malik Willis sweepstakes. That's their new quarterback, shipping Tua out to Atlanta. Kyler landing in Minnesota. The carousel continues. So fun and entertaining. Have no fear, you can sleep tonight. Josh Johnson has been picked up by another team. My man's been in the league since 2008. As a backup or on the practice squad of some sorts. He's dipped into other leagues here and there. But since 2008, he's been with the Buccaneers, the 49ers, the Browns, the Bengals, back to the 49ers, back to the Bengals, Jets, Colts, Bills, Ravens, Giants, Texans, Raiders, Washington, Detroit, 49ers, Jets, Ravens, Broncos, 49ers, Ravens, Commanders. And this year, he will be suiting up as Joe Burrow's backup in Cincinnati. Shout out to you, Josh Johnson, because every one of those years comes with a contract. So hats off to you making a career out of this. I love to see guys that just stick around the league and don't really have to play that much. It's how I would like my NFL career to go. The start of baseball season, the smell of fresh cut grass, the sun on your face. And when you're in Little League, you get your new uniforms, your brand new hats, your beautifully just crisped jersey t-shirt combo. They gave it to us on picture day because they didn't want us to mess it up. But smart on their part. But I loved Jersey Day. And when you're in Little League in the late 90s, early 2000s, those logos were fire. So let's do top 5 early 2000s MLB logos. Vibrant colors, unique takes on retro logos, fun new fonts and color schemes, insane looking mascots. Teams really went for it in the turn of the new century, and I was here for every bit of it. I loved, as a kid, redesigning logos and jerseys, and Major League Baseball was already doing that for me. It was amazing. We get a bunch of new teams trying to define themselves. We get a bunch of old teams having fun with new logos and just really caught them in some fun phases, and sadly, we got a team that is no longer with us. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the countdown. Honorable mention, it is the Houston Astros. Back then, they were still in the National League. They had just changed over for the new star, where it was like 4/5 of a star. It just didn't have that last little bit. Looked really good on a helmet. And they had just made the change in the early 2000s from being navy and gold to playing with like a red navy color scheme. It made for some beautiful pinstripes and it's just some awesome looking logos and uniforms. At number 5, it's the San Diego Padres. I do appreciate what they're doing with the brown and the yellow nowadays, but back before then, they had this really cool navy orange color scheme going. It was awesome. Super clean pinstripes. Makes me feel like Tony Gwynn's still calling his shots when I see this logo or uniform scheme. You see the old San Diego Baseball Club. Makes me feel like Trevor Hoffman's still throwing gas. It just screamed early 2000s. You know, while a lot of teams were over the top, they kept it simplistic and just classic, really. Which you don't get to say for the early 2000s a lot. Classic. Number 4, it's the Florida Marlins. I know Miami and those vibrant colors are not, but no thank you. The simple turquoise and black was just a great choice here. It had the Marlin coming up through the middle of the logo. It screams Pudge and the boys winning the 2003 World Series is what it does for me. And plus the new logos just scream, hey, are you a good player? Because we're going to probably trade you to the Yankees. At number 3, it is the Montreal Expos. RIP. Look, no one is happy that the Nationals are here, I guess, unless you're a resident of DC. But the Montreal Expos is one of the best logos in all of baseball. And in the early 2000s, we didn't know how little time we had left with them. 2004 hit us like a ton of bricks when they were like the year before they were like splitting time in like Puerto Rico or so, I don't know. The end was near and we just didn't know it was going to be pulled that soon. And now we got the Washington Nationals, and all that did was start my hatred of Bryce Harper. I am happy Strasburg got a championship though. He deserved it. Number 2 on our countdown, the Arizona Diamondbacks. That all-black hat with the gold D snake. Oh, man. I wore that hat till I couldn't wear that hat anymore. I wore that hat slap out, as they say. They really hit the ground running with just the turquoise, the black, the purple. It was amazing. An impeccable color scheme, if you will. The pinstripes, the solid colors, they pulled off a vest. Not many teams can pull off a vest. No wonder they won the 2002 World Series. I mean, I know they had Kurt Schilling and Randy Johnson, but it was definitely the logos that powered them through for the win. And number 1 on our countdown, my favorite logo color scheme of the early 2000s in all of Major League Baseball, the Anaheim Angels. They were renamed the Anaheim Angels once the ownership of the Anaheim Mighty Ducks took over in 1997. Yes, there was a failed TV deal in there, but hey, we're not talking about that. It really made them pay attention to the product. It really made them put some effort into the Angels that we hadn't seen when they were the California Angels. They renovated the stadiums. We got new colors and logos. That beautiful baby blue came to the forefront with the angel wings. I love this logo. It led to an 2002 World Series championship, so they were doing something right. I really wanted Jim Edmonds to be a part of that because this logo screams Jim Edmonds, Troy Gloss, but Jim Edmonds sadly left before the turn of the century. And then in '05, they became the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, and all the luster and pizzazz was gone. But we'll always remember that short, sweet time where they had the beautiful navy, Carolina blue, red color scheme. They, too, could pull off a vest. It was a great time to be alive and be a baseball fan. So that is my top 5 early 2000s Major League Baseball logos. Let me know in the comments which team really spoke to you. You know, was it a classic Oakland Athletics? You know, that's timeless, really. Was it the Pirates? You know, they were experimenting with some stuff. They tried a vest. Let me know what logo was your favorite in that time period. And that's it for our show this week, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I would truly appreciate it. And just remember to spread some positivity this week. We're all weird. It's way more fun when we're weird together. We'll see you next time.